So I do think that tariffs will impact business, impact the consumer, impact the way that we function in the market.
Hey, David. So tariffs seem like a huge buzzword right now. And, coming off of what you learned at Vision Council, Executive Summit, and maybe Vision Expo, what are your thoughts? How is it going to affect our industry? Short term, long term? What's your take?
Yeah. Well, I think, tariffs, of course, are just one part of what happens in the supply chain, but let's stick to that for the question. Short term, I woke up one day and realized I had millions of dollars more to pay. So obviously, my budget that I closed with in 2024, we throw that budget out the window. What does that mean? It means I have three things I can do. I can raise my prices. I can look for internal cost savings. I can go back to my vendors. But effectively, one way or the other, we have tariffs to pay for. The way tariffs work, Steve, is that once my goods hit a port of entry, they are not released until I pay what is now almost 20% of the value. So if there's $1 million there, I owe the U.S. government 200,000. At that point, now we have to figure out how that works. So what we've learned generally is that there is going to be some version of those three things I said. Companies are going to have to raise prices. That's a cost increase to them. The consumer will pay more. That's an increase to the consumer. There will be some sharing with vendors. That's going to happen. That's not unique. And then there's going to be cost savings inside an organization. What I fear actually is that some organizations will start to cut things that may be detrimental to their business going forward. Maybe they're not going to be investing in technology. Maybe they're not going to make some hires. Maybe there won't be development as much in new products. So I do think that tariffs generally will impact business, impact the consumer, impact the way that we function in the market.
Do you think companies eventually will reshore, onshore? And what does that mean for the optical buyer? Can they be asking questions of their vendors about what their plan is about tariffs?
There's no question that there's a movement towards reshoring or nearshoring. I'll give you a good example. There's a great case manufacturer in the Caribbean that for many years was just moving along at a certain pace. But because there's no tariffs and they've now built up the right quality for us and others in our industry to use, that business is going to get very busy. So that's a nearshore solution. No question that companies will start to think about doing assembly in the United States. All companies will have a plan, but my guess is those plans are very fluid. It's going to be depending on what happens long term in how that company operates and in whether the tariff laws change, which they might. They might even get bigger.
Perfect. Thank you, David. And we're going to always encourage anyone in the audience, if you have any questions, follow-up questions, put them down in the chat or send us a message in the link below. I appreciate your time, David. We'll be back with the next episode. Thanks again.
Thanks a lot. Take care.